incoming light frequency coming and permeating the planet and everyone here on the planet. So what's going to happen to your skin when it gets lit up by incoming energy? So some of your skin conditions might be due to the increased amount of energy that is coming here globally throughout the planet, okay? And that can cause what we would call an ascension symptom, also known as itchy hot pockets on your skin. It can increase heat and irritation to the skin. And that's something that I'm going to be diving into as well. All right. Just looking at my notes to keep me on track. All right. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about my own skin issues and irritations. And I feel that there is a bit of a connection to my autoimmune issue that I developed into my early 20s. And this is more of moving in the direction of digestive issues. But before that developed, I remember having eczema on my skin at a very young age, at the age of 8, and it was on my eyelids, and it was always irritating, and I had to go and get cream to get it resolved, and it was a back and forth thing. Now I rarely have to use the cream because I have found more natural ways of treating it. Now, I would deem mine as being more mild, but I do recall when developing digestive issues, the eczema spread to around my mouth, base of my nose. Again, I don't have that issue any longer. Once in a blue moon, I'll get it up here, but it's very rare. And that is because change of diet, drinking spring water, and of course I have another trick up my sleeve, which is collagen. I have vital proteins, collagen. You guys probably have seen Jennifer Aniston promoting vital proteins through advertisements on TV. And I remember thinking, well, okay, well, I'll try it and see how it works. And what I found was my skin healed up. Not only that, but the bumps. Have you guys ever had bumps on the backs of your arms? Or, those little bumps, the little dry bumps, those have completely gone. So something in this collagen is definitely helping my skin. Of course, it helps not only your skin, it's going to help your joints. The collagen in your body is so important. So that's a nice way of healing up the skin. So if you find that you have psoriasis or eczema, you may want to try collagen. And I really enjoy vital proteins. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I did notice a decrease in, because I had been cleaning so many years, going up and down stairs, carrying my equipment, that did affect my knees as well. And I did notice a significant decrease in the pain in my knees as well by using this collagen. So it is a lifesaver. You wouldn't believe the natural things that are out there that can help. Okay, so of course we know that, sleep, rest, decrease in stress, okay, that all affects your skin. Your nervous system and your skin are in tandem with each other, aren't they? So it's really important to have, just more of a laid back, relaxed approach in life. Nothing taught me that more than when I came out of the hospital the first go around with colitis. So anyone that, or anything that was a massive amount of stress in my life, I just shifted it right on out the door. Bye. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that I still don't get my own self worked up from time to time, but I smooth it out, or I resolve it, or I find a way to make things more relaxed, come into balance much quicker. Okay. And that's so important because I recognize that if I had too much stress, it could trigger a flare up. And then I would suffer for months on end with ulcerative colitis. How wonderful. I'm going to have to check that right on out there. My goodness, that's great. Okay, mental noting and researching that later. Okay, now, sleep, nap time, decompression time, grounding time out in nature, and or meditation, super important. What else helps to ground you? Foods that are grounding, rooted vegetables in general, okay? Having a whole food diet. So if you find yourself chronically on sugar, caffeine, that's probably not going to be super great for your skin or your nervous system or you, period, to ground your energy. Okay, now when we talk about the different types of skin conditions out there, there are many. Okay, we could go on forever if I wanted to move in that direction, and then I would be a dermatologist, but I'm not. But some of them, okay, eczema, for example, is a condition that causes dry, itchy, inflamed skin. Good times, had by none. It's common in young children, and I did notice that at a very young age. There it was. But even lasting into my grown-up years, although I have not had significant issues with it for some time, as I have adjusted my lifestyle to be more relaxed, and also the collagen is a game changer. Also, the foods I eat, and also the spring water that I drink on a regular basis and have delivered to my doorstep. So anyone can look up your local spring through your phone book online, and they will likely deliver. Most of them deliver it right to your door, and it's so much more cost effective. The angels do not want us drinking tap water. Okay, there's something in the tap water, or whatever, multiple things in the tap water they don't want us consuming. So with eczema, it can flare up sometimes and then settle down. When I start a little flare, it's like if I don't treat it right away, it just keeps going. If I didn't have my tools to treat it, and sometimes I have to use cream, then basically it just carries on. Now, psoriasis is a skin disease that causes a rash with itchy, scaly patches, most commonly on the knees, elbows, trunks, and scalp. Psoriasis is a common long-term chronic disease with no cure. There is always a way. Always. Always move and think outside the box, because if you've gotten all your answers from your GP or your doctor and that's it, I never settle for that's it and there's no other way. I never do. Hence why I am here where I am now in life, because I never settle for just, well, that's it. Because if I did settle, I would have just been stuck on drugs, and that would have been it for me back in the day. So I always try and research and think of ways outside the box. Okay. Okay. So again, I'm thinking with psoriasis, this may be very helpful. Okay. Helping heal the skin, helping to nourish the skin, helping to soothe the skin. Okay. And then on the flip side of the coin, for those of us who have dry skin, I'm thinking we're moving more in the eczema and the psoriasis direction, however, maybe not exclusive. But on the other flip side of the coin, we have excessive oily skin conditions. And we're looking at it's due to an overactive and I'm probably not even going to pronounce this right, but sebaceous glands, and can affect both males and females. The oil produced in the skin is called sebum. So again, we have excessive oily skin. This is something that will help. Diet. What are you drinking? Reducing intake of excessive oily foods in your diet, right? Taking really good care of your skin. Now, as we move along, I just also want to say, it's not about just what you put in your body, but it's also about what are you washing your skin with. Has anybody thought of that? What are you washing your skin with? Tap water, okay? The water that comes in through the pipes. And it's not always the same everywhere you go and everywhere you live. So some of the things that I've noticed over the years is that living in an apartment building, I don't know if it's just the fact that there's multiple different suites, possibly the apartment building's age is in fact a factor with the age of the pipes. Sometimes the water can look more copper or brownish in color due to the age of the pipes coming in. Maybe it's the hot water tanks that's being used. Whatever it is, one thing I've definitely noticed over the years is that by living in an apartment building, the water doesn't seem to be as clean, okay, versus living in a house. When living in a house, it seems to be much cleaner. Also, location is a factor. So one thing I noticed when traveling down to Florida, and this is just my experience, somebody else might tell me they noticed the water completely different in their location living in Florida. But the water was not good for my skin. So what I noticed after staying for a month is that at a certain period of time, I had to purchase spring water from the grocery store and bathe in that because my skin got so irritated. Some of the things I also notice with the tap water where it's maybe not so good is you'll notice like a calcification, like a thick white crust that is caked onto the taps and onto your own skin. So you'll notice it flaking off. And I'm not sure, but I do know that, not that I drink the tap water, but if I'm in the shower and I'm tasting it in the mouth, I can get an indication as to how clean the water is by how it tastes. Does it taste more like spring water, or does it have a little bit more of a residue or chemical type taste to it? Oh, you live in Florida and you totally agree. Yes. So it's completely different in different locations. And I'm really lucky with where I live because I have an abundance of fruit and vegetables. A lot of it is locally grown, and the water coming through the tap is key. So if you already have sensitive skin or skin conditions, and then you're bathing in this tap water, it can exasperate the skin condition that you already have. Okay, it can irritate and flame it up, and that was what was happening to me down in Florida. So it became a major issue. Now let's talk about skin conditions that aren't about your diet. They're not about the water. They're not about your DNA. They're not about your genetic makeup. They're not about you just having sensitive skin. Okay? We're talking about incoming light frequency coming and permeating the planet and everyone here on the planet. So what's going to happen to your skin when it gets lit up by incoming energy? So some of this ascension symptoms that one has is heart palps, anxiety. Okay. Your chakra centers start to open and expand. You feel a lot of pressure in your chest, pressure in your tum-tum, because that is where your solar chakra is and your heart chakra. And the third one that seems to be the one that lights up a lot is your crown chakra. So you might notice yourself getting a bit lightheaded and dizzy. When this starts coming in full throttle, just doing the simplest of tasks can seem overwhelming, okay? Because you're feeling bombarded with energy. Although you may not recognize that at first, you might say, oh my God, what's happening? What is happening to me? And you might find yourself frustrated or overwhelmed easily. Okay. Now there's a long list of different ascension symptoms out there, and I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel, Kristin Davies, that will discuss that if you want to go and see them. But ultimately, we're talking about skin today, so that's where I'm going to be narrowing down now. Now, your skin, because this light frequency is coming in, it's coming in through your chakra centers, primarily at first. As your chakra centers really open up, you might just notice light frequency just pulling in through your whole body. So now they're just bypassing just your chakra centers, and now they're just going full throttle through your entire body, okay? So some of the things that I've noticed is light frequency coming in full throttle through my entire head, also going down into my shoulders. And what happens with the body when it's got a huge influx of energy, and it's the energy has to go somewhere. So usually the energy is pulsating through your whole body, down your body, and out your feet into the earth. Now, if we have huge bursts of light frequency, also known as light codes, coming through the vessel, the body, if it can't just make its way down through the body, it comes out through the skin. So one time, for example, I had a huge amount of light frequency coming in, and I even said to my friend on the couch, holy moly, a lot of light frequency coming in. And then I felt the light start to go somewhere. So where does it go? It will come out of your skin. Okay, and it's a huge amount of energy. So I remember having a ring of energy around the base of my neck, and I could feel it coming out. And I felt like my skin was on fire. And I thought, okay, well, this will pass like all the other itchy hot pocket experiences that I had had, but this was different. This was a huge burst of energy, and it really impacted my skin. I ended up having to go and get cortisone cream to calm it down because it just wasn't calming down after 2 weeks. I literally had a ring around my neck. It was just bizarre, about here, all the way around. Now, before that, I would get hot pockets on my chest, sometimes on my jaw, and I knew what it was because I could feel the energy coming out as it was coming in. It has to go somewhere. So your skin may be impacted and affected by incoming energy. And as we've all been noticing as of recently, there is a ton of energy coming in on the planet right now. You want to talk about the veil thinning? You want to talk about your chakras opening and you becoming more sensitive and sensing and feeling the energy around you? That's always with you. You might be noticing your angels much more. You might be having conversations and or seeing things much more. Okay. So some of the ascension symptoms is ear ringing. Okay. All of a sudden you get stillness on the side of the head. That indicates to me my angel has moved right next to my head and that it is wanting to converse with me. If I have ear ringing, it is telling me that I've got an upgrade of information coming in, or they're opening my ears for better communication, becoming more clairaudient, or they have a message for me and they're conversing with me. So sometimes when I get the ear ringing, I'll just quiet my mind and I'll just tune into the ringing and just see if any words start to form in my mind. Okay. It's how blessed and lucky are we to be able to connect with the energy that's around us anytime we want. How unalone you truly are. You're never alone. All right. As we move along, what they tell me is, well, a lot of people ask, well, how long are ascension symptoms going to last for? Well, you'll move up to the next level and you'll be coasting and it'll be good, and then you're ready for the next go around. So for me, I think ascension symptoms are going to last for the entirety of our lives. Okay. And it will become easier though. Okay. You'll get more acclimated to it until you move probably up the next level, and then you'll get acclimated to that. Okay. It's so important for you to understand that some of the skin conditions that we have can be exacerbated by our diet, the water you bathe in, and the water that you're drinking. Okay? Your body is an organism made up of primarily water, right? And everything that you consume and eat is holding a vibrational frequency. That carrot, that broccoli, where was it grown? And how fresh is it? Right? So if you can eat locally, that is super the best. But if not, then you can find other ways. Go to the local farms outside of your location and go see what they're growing. Locally delivered water from the springs in the ground that have a lot of mineral, and it's amazing what's in that water, and also how good you feel when you drink it. Do you notice that when you drink tap water or sometimes bottled water, if you're constantly feeling thirsty, something in the water you're drinking is not satiating you. You're not getting satiated. So this spring water that comes from the ground on an island nearby where I live gets delivered to my door, and it makes me feel satiated where I'm not feeling thirsty all the time. Okay. The other thing that it'll do is it makes me feel cooler, more alkaline body. So I'm not getting hot and acidic or more of an inflamed type of response. So the foods you eat and the water you drink can dictate that. It's really important. as everything carries a vibrational frequency, extra important nowadays with the incoming frequency and then the rise, the rise of the frequency coming to Earth as to what you consume and what you bathe in and what you drink.